Hello and good night. Welcome to another bedtime story. This story is meant to help you sleep or to relax your mind. Try and find a comfortable place, such as your bed or a soft chair. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes now. Try and let go of the day as we begin our tale. Tonight's story is the Magic Porridge Pot. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village, nestled between rolling green hills and deep whispering forests, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Lila. She was gentle and hard-working, but she and her mother were very poor. They lived in a tiny cottage on the edge of the village, where they did their best to make ends meet. No matter how hard they worked, there was often very little food, and many nights they went to bed hungry. One day, as Lila wandered through the forest in search of berries and firewood, she came upon an old woman sitting on a tree stump. The woman had kind eyes and a warm smile, though her face was lined with age. She was wrapped in a shawl embroidered with golden thread, and her hands trembled slightly as she held out a small iron pot. Lila approached cautiously, her curiosity piqued. "Good day, madam," she greeted politely. "Are you all right? Do you need any help?" The old woman chuckled, her voice rustling like leaves. "Ah, child, it is not I who needs help, but you who may find something wonderful this day. I see kindness in your heart and strength in your soul. You are a girl of true spirit." Lila blushed at the praise, but said nothing. The old woman continued, "You have known hardship and hunger, and yet you remain generous. For this, I wish to give you a gift." She lifted the small iron pot with great care, as if it were made of the finest gold. Lila hesitated, but then reached out and took the pot. "Thank you, but what makes this pot so special?" The old woman smiled knowingly. "It is a magic porridge pot. Whenever you are hungry, simply say the words, 'Cook, little pot, cook,' and it will fill with warm, sweet porridge. When you have had your fill, say, 'Stop, little pot, stop,' and it will cease. But use it wisely, child." Lila's eyes widened with amazement. "That is truly magical. But why give it to me? Surely you could use it yourself." The old woman shook her head. "My time of need has passed, and my path leads somewhere else. But you and your mother shall never go hungry again." She gave Lila a gentle pat on the shoulder before standing up. "Remember, my dear, wisdom is just as important as kindness. Use this gift well." Before Lila could ask anything more, the old woman turned and walked away, vanishing among the trees as if she had never been there at all. Lila stood for a moment, holding the pot close to her chest, her heart brimming with gratitude. Then, with renewed energy, she hurried home to tell her mother. That night, when Lila returned to their small cottage, she set the pot on their little wooden table. Her mother looked at it with curiosity. "What is this, my dear?" she asked. With excitement, Lila explained what had happened in the forest. She then said, "Cook, little pot, cook." At once, the pot bubbled and filled with steaming, golden porridge. The rich aroma filled the room, making their empty stomachs grumble. They ate and ate until their hunger was finally satisfied. When they had eaten enough, Lila said, "Stop, little pot, stop." And just as the old woman had promised, the pot ceased cooking. From that day forwards, Lila and her mother never went hungry. Each morning, they had warm porridge to start the day, and each night they ate until they were full. They shared their secret with the villagers, offering food to anyone who was in need. Soon, the once hungry village became a place of warmth and joy, all thanks to the magic porridge pot. One day, while Lila was out gathering herbs, her mother felt a hunger pang and decided to use the pot herself. She set it on the table and, forgetting the exact words, simply said, "Cook, little pot." Instantly, the pot began to bubble, and rich, creamy porridge filled the pot. But when the pot was full, it did not stop. The porridge bubbled over the edges, spilling onto the table, then the floor. Panicked, Lila's mother tried to remember the words to stop it, but she couldn't. The porridge overflowed, covering the kitchen floor and spilling out the door. It spread through the cottage, then into the street. The villagers gasped as the golden porridge streamed through the town, filling every home and shop. Soon, people were wading knee-deep in warm, delicious porridge, laughing and shouting in surprise. When Lila returned, she found the entire village awash in porridge. Giggling, she hurried to her home and cried, "Stop, little pot, stop!" Immediately, the pot ceased cooking, and at last the flood of porridge came to an end. It took many days for the villagers to eat their way through the porridge that covered their streets, and for a long time, no one in the village was hungry. From that day forwards, Lila and her mother were very careful with the magic porridge pot, always ensuring that they used the right words. And so, with their bellies full and their hearts content, Lila and her mother, always remembering the kindness of the old woman and the magic she had bestowed upon them, lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you for listening to this bedtime story. I hope you enjoyed the tale tonight. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more audiobooks and tales to come. Until next time.